We have had conversations on this show of late about which players you start a team with, right? If you're starting an NBA team right now, you're not starting it with Kevin Durant or LeBron James or Kawhi Leonard, even if they are the best players in the moment because of their age. If you're looking at guys 25 and under. So Stephen A. is waxing rhapsodic about Donovan Mitchell. And look, it's very hard to argue. Let's put Karl Malone and John Stockton out of the conversation. That's Stephen A.'s opinion. He's more than entitled to it. But I don't want to debate that because it sidetracks what is actually the more interesting question of the day.
You ask these questions.
Greeny's question of the day.
All right, so I'm going to say a name, Nuno, and you tell me right now, you love the Knicks more than I've ever met anyone loves anything. So I will say you can either have Donovan Mitchell or this guy.
Okay.
And you tell me which one you're taking. All right? Take contracts, all the rest of it out of it. I'm not suggesting any of these are realistic. But if you could have one of these guys, would you take Donovan Mitchell or Luka?
Luka.
Over, you said that easily and without question. Is the size the factor?
I think he is just that. I think slightly above everyone, where it's almost like a no-brainer that it's just Luka.
Donovan Mitchell or Trae Young?
Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell or Jason Tatum?
Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, you're taking over Jason Tatum. I heard someone in the room go,
yeah,
oof.
Vin Kane over here.
Yeah, but that's because that's a tough one, right? I mean, that's a. You said it without giving it a lot of thought. I like the definitiveness of it. You are buying in full-fledged to Donovan Mitchell.
I am. I just feel like that there's just something different about Mitchell. Like, he loves that spotlight. And yes, Tatum had 50 in that team. Like, I don't know. I feel like I've seen enough of that Celtics team to be like, Tatum, he's great, but he isn't going to put you over the top.
Donovan Mitchell or John Moran?
Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell or Zion Williamson?
That one's a tough one. These guys are yelling at me.
What are they yelling? I can't.
Because they're all about Zion. They're all saying it should be Zion. That the answer is Zion. I don't know. I think Mitchell.
You would take Mitchell over Zion. Zion's got to outweigh him by 100.
That's not accurate. We're saying
he turned that around on us there.
No, I don't think so.
What did he turn around? What were you saying, Devin?
We were both saying Mitchell, and he didn't know at first what he was going to say. We're like, you're crazy.
No, I think I heard him say Zion.
You're saying definitively, Devin, that you would take Mitchell over Zion?
Yes, 100%.
You too, Bubba?
Oh yeah,
Mitchell over Zion. I mean, Zion Williamson, who I don't know. I mean, Mitchell is on a good team to be a player who he is. Now, I'm not taking anything away from the kid. All right, he's been unbelievable. They are 6-0 in the playoffs when he plays. They lost the only game he didn't. He's tremendous. But he's also got a really nice team around him to be a great player on. They've got people who fit spots. You've got Gobert, who is not – he's not an all-around great player. He's not Joel Embiid. He's not Nikola Jokic. But what he does exceptionally well. They've got they've got the great floor spacers who can just shoot lights out. They've got other good it's a tough question. To me, Zion and Luka are the toughest ones. Tatum is a tough one, too. I guess what I'm trying to say is, do we all have to come to terms that the reason for even the fact that it is a question brings us to this. We as a basketball fandom have to come to terms with the fact that Donovan Mitchell is right now one of the handful of best players in the sport. And I just don't feel like anyone ever says that. No one ever says that. When the regular season, Utah had the best record in the NBA this season. How many people, when the NBA season ended, would have said that it's worth debating whether Donovan Mitchell is one of the top 3 players you would start a franchise with tomorrow if you had that option? I don't think anyone would have said it. So what's happened? Now, these 6 games have changed our minds. He was unbelievable in the bubble last year. We didn't pay a lot of attention. Allow yourself to consider this. What if Donovan Mitchell was doing exactly what Donovan Mitchell is doing, but the jerseys in that series were reversed? What if he was doing this playing for L.A.? I know it's the Clippers, it's not the Lakers, but it's still Los Angeles. Imagine if Donovan Mitchell was doing this for a traditional NBA franchise. And of course, the Jazz have a lot of good history to them, going back to New Orleans, whatever. And then, obviously, the Stockton and Malone years. They've had great teams. I don't mean to dismiss their history. I mean, they're just not a team that is on the radar of absolutely everyone all the time, even though they were the best team in the sport all year. What, they go one stretch? How many games in a row did they win this year, Nuno? It all kind of 19 games, 20. How many games in a row did they win at one point this year?
I think it was 19.
They were the best team in the NBA all year long, and still people paid almost no attention to them. It was all about, well, can LeBron get healthy? Can Anthony Davis get healthy? No one wants to play the Lakers. How are they? We didn't talk about Utah, and part of that is because they're Utah. But now we're having a conversation about whether or not Donovan Mitchell belongs in the conversation with Luka, and Trae Young became a star. Jason Tatum is a guy people have talked about as an MVP. People have said Jason Tatum is on his way to being a league MVP. Now we're saying you'd rather have Donovan Mitchell. Zion Williamson, I've had people say, is a once-in-a-lifetime, a generational talent, a guy who's going to change the sport as we know it. But now we'd rather have Donovan Mitchell. So I'm saying it is a remarkable testament to how good he's been, but I also do wonder if it's not happening a little too quickly. Like, are we jumping the gun a little bit on Donovan Mitchell? Because it's been an incredible 3 weeks, but I'm not ready to say yet, I'm starting a franchise right now, he's one of my top 5 guys. I don't think I'm ready to say that. I'm more than ready to be proven dead wrong. What I will say is I think there's a very good chance that when this season ends, Donovan Mitchell is standing with the trophy over his head and confetti falling on him. I think right now Utah has the best chance to beat the Nets and the best chance to win the championship of any team that isn't the Nets. Now, if you're asking me to bet an amount of money that matters to me, I will tell you absolutely. I believe that the Nets are going to win the title. But if I had to pick my next likeliest team, it would be Utah. And he's the best player on that team. So we'll see what happens. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.